Sup Virgo, welcome back to the channel. This will be a read for Virgo. If you have Virgo placement, tap in. Virgo, let's see what's going on with the planetary bodies. Virgo, I do have my own system on my website as far as the planetary bodies or the transits go. It's on officialskeys.com. So Virgo, the sun is in Taurus at a 2954. So seeing eye to eye with the windows, the trauma, the shit that a person has with them. There's politics surrounding possession specifically. I feel like what a person owns. Heavy emphasis on those dark spirits or those energies as far as like where they can't get enough, or it's like a person constantly nagging you. There's possession surrounding why a person acts the way they act. I feel like because they truly feel uncomfortable. There's windows to the energy and seeing eye to eye more so. Heavy emphasis on prayers for Joe Biden. That was a specific message in a previous reading as far as endoscopies and as far as examinations go when it comes to current energies. Virgo, you have the moon at a 215, seeing eye to eye with the politics, the conflict. I feel like this is more so revelation of politics or conflict or hate even. It's in Pisces, so this could speak of a delay in emotion or decline in emotion, or I feel like someone just doesn't care, right? Virgo, you have Mercury at 1849, revelation of intellect, practicality, the conversation, the intellectual more so. I feel like the intellectualist one, the one that's speaking out the most, heavy emphasis on checking up on that energy, making sure they're okay, etc. Virgo, there's possessions, Capricorn energy, contents, and windows to, let's say, pleasures. I feel like this is because of a person's pleasures, exactly or the most more so. You have Venus at a 1434, revelation of possessions or let's say contents of a person. It's at a 34, so this could speak of conspiracy, third-party energy, and those possessions more so. It's in Aries, so this is the controlled way, the head portion, what a conversation could be more so instead of. Virgo, you have Mars at a 15-9, revelation of politics, conflict, hate. I feel more so, Virgo, with at a 09, this could speak of conflict more so. Even hate, I feel like more so hate and then conflict. Windows to the Leo's energy, let's say more so the activation of or the expansion when it comes to. So this is how a person's thinking generally. This is how they're thinking as far as conflict and hate goes. Very hateful mindset, very conflicted mindset more so. Virgo, you have Jupiter at a 2530, seeing eye to eye with the politics, the hate, the conflict, the third party energy, the outlet when it comes to the riches more so. So I feel like someone's name could be rich to a certain degree. Heavy emphasis on, let's say, the expansion. It's separate, it's contractual, something to that nature. Heavy emphasis on the internet more so. Virgo, you have Saturn at a 2939, seeing eye to eye with the windows, the trauma, let's say the shit that a person has with them, the third party energy, the outlets, and let's say the windows to the teaching more so. I feel like if a person is teaching, I feel like there's a person who has shit with them that's a teacher to a certain degree, or I feel like someone's an instructor, they have shit with them, or I feel like this is like a game to them almost to a certain degree, right? Virgo, heavy emphasis on those riches. So contractual, that someone expands the way they're expanding. So it's kind of like an energy as to where that's your karma contractually, or that's what you communicated more so. There was demonstration as far as Twitter or on X, Virgo, as far as someone speaking out and saying, oh, so you're mad at your own karma, something you spoke about, something you said, something you did physically. So, you know, it's an energy as to where you can't be mad at no one but yourself, right? Virgo, you have Uranus at a 27, seeing eye to eye with the deception. This could speak of proper preparation, twice Uranus when it comes to, let's say, more so of the heavens, Virgo. Uranus to the heavens, blissful energy, let's say the sky to a certain degree, let's say the air pockets, Virgo, in the sky more so. This could speak of hold up, hold on a minute energy when it comes to, let's say, the heavens, let's say the God source, let's say those air pockets more so, right? I feel like this has something to do with transition in air. Heavy emphasis on seeing eye to eye with the deception and proper preparation when it comes to transitioning in the air. Virgo, in upcoming, I feel like months, or let's say even like a year or years. Neptune at a 138, wicked identification, the third party energy, the outlets, the intellect, the practicality, the conversation, the head portion. I feel like have the emphasis on those controls. You know, has something passed an exam, has something passed studies, is something appropriate for the occasion, is it sturdy enough, you know, to a certain degree. We're going to have Pluto at a 346, 1 degree, heavy emphasis on wicked identification when it comes to that third party energy, the outlets, the possession, and let's say the movement or spiritual side of things. When it comes to, I'd say the exact Virgo, retrograde Aquarius, so the influence more so, the health of a person more so, heavy emphasis on those minuscule or the exact things that could Virgo require, let's say, microscope, you know, a deeper look into more so. Virgo, you have Chiron at a 25-9, seeing eye to eye with the politics, the conflict, the hate, the disgrace, even windows to, let's say, screenings more so. This could speak of trauma or very authentic reading of, let's say, a screening to a certain degree. Virgo, you have a true node at a 25-3, seeing eye to eye with the politics, the hate. I feel like this could speak of politics surrounding third-party energy or carefree when it comes to the third-party energy moving forward, or something about the third. Virgo, you have a true Lilith at a 29-28, seeing eye to eye with the windows, the trauma. Heavy emphasis on seeing eye to eye with the intellect, the conversation, the traumatic conversation that a person could be having, Virgo, let's say over and over again. I feel like someone's mind is required to think a certain way because of their actions thus far, or let's say the longevity when it comes to their actions more so. Virgo, perhaps, I feel like this has something to do with history to a certain degree. Virgo, it's in Scorpio, so the return of, let's say, the dark spirit, the return of the intellect from the dark spirit specifically. I feel like this has something to do with high priestess energy, something that you know on an intuitive level that's going on. Could be in lineage or family to a certain degree, or this has something to do with, let's say, the conversation that a person's having specifically. So the specific conversation is pertaining to what? This could speak of sex, transition to a certain degree, let's say a moving phase particularly. This could speak of vehicle to a certain degree, heavy emphasis on seeing eye to eye with the trauma, the intellect when it comes to a person, or the return of the conversation more so. I feel like this could be a conversation that a person could be having, you know, with someone in particular, someone that they have sex with, someone that a person frequents more so. Let's see. So it's like an energy as to where if you frequent that person, or if you know, it's an energy as to where, oh no, you have sex with this person every day, so you should be able to have a conversation with them. You should be able to, you know, communicate with them efficiently. If not, that's a problem. The return of the intellect, seeing eye to eye with the intellect, the properties, the practicality, the properties when it comes to a person specifically in that exact retrograde Aquarius, retrograde Scorpio. So this could speak of a continuation of health problems, a continuation of good health, even more so. This could speak of possession spiritually, or specifically what's in the lineage, what's in the possession, etc. How can we make it better? What can we do to aid, etc. Heavy emphasis on Virgo prayers for Joe Biden. Let's see. Dear Spirit, bring a gentle touch. So Virgo, heavy emphasis on, let's say, Jägermeisters. I feel like this could be a drink to a certain degree. Dear Spirit, so heavy emphasis on tipping, Virgo, when it comes to an energy, revelation of intellect, conversation, practicality, properties, more so. I feel like this could be like a sense to, Virgo, let's say, some type of property or something that's inside of a person internally. This could speak of general medicine as well, Virgo, to a certain degree. A I'm also getting something about compassion or having compassion for another. I feel like you have compassion for people, Virgo. I feel like that's a very good trait or quality to have during this time. I feel like because of the trauma specifically, this is like a very traumatic event or something a person could be experiencing, Virgo, when it comes to, let's say, the communication. So what they get as far as communication, you see eye to eye with the revelation of the disgrace, more so, or the politics surrounding this desire to know or information. This could even be a letter or some type of news, Virgo, a person could be getting specifically that could be quite traumatizing. So some information, you know, could be hard to handle to a certain degree. Virgo, you have the Four of Spades here, so heavy emphasis on those possessions. Capricorn's energy. I feel like someone's been at something for a long time as well. I feel like if you look at the sequence when it comes to a person and their frame of mind more so, you can tell exactly how they think, or that a person has been bothering another person for quite some time type of energy. I feel like a person has been, let's say, Virgo, let's say more so nagging a person for quite some time. I feel like in their mind though. Not in anyone else's mind, in their mind. So this is the truth of a person, specifically the contents, the truth, the the intellect, the practicality, the properties when it comes to a person. So she feels like she's been hindering her for a long time, and it's in the sequence. As far as a person feeling a type of way, or let's say brokenhearted, or person feeling or thinking or having something embedded in their head, specifically as far as their dealings go. So, you know, if they do, that's Sia. I'm cracking up, sup, Sia. As far as Virgo, like I said, the contents of a person, the properties, how they think, how a person has made another feel over the time of or course of time. So that's their own problem. Heavy emphasis on sup, Nikki. Let's see. All things Virgo. Because if you ever you don't know what to do, miss me with that. Nah. So you have father here, Virgo. Production, hunting, protection, and teaching. So father figures could be very significant to you, Virgo, in current energies. The father specifically. So focusing on more so who's dead is dead, okay? Who's dead is dead, what's dead is dead, etc. So I feel like this has something to do with a person and their ability more so. So are you able to be a father? Like, could you possibly, you know, go into fatherhood to a certain degree? You know, would that be something that you, would that be, you know, a responsibility that you would be willing to take on more so? You know what I'm saying? Let's see, Virgo. You have a waning moon, Virgo. I was going to say a waxing, heavy emphasis on the waxing moon. I feel like people are taking these things so literal. It's a waning moon, so very boring as far as the energies or the information particularly. It's at a 4893. So this could speak of Capricorn's energy, contents, the intellect, the properties, windows to the third party outlet specifically. I feel like heavy emphasis on getting something checked out specifically. If you feel a certain way, don't wait around. Let's see. All things Virgo. I feel like there's an energy as to where a person is honestly sick of another. And this could be a deep, dark secret. But, you know, those that know. Nine of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio energy with the moon, Virgo, in Pisces. So contentment surrounding, let's say, the possessions. I feel like someone's possessed specifically. They're content with the energy, or let's say the possession of fatherhood, being in fatherhood. Or I feel like this is a nasty ass individual, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio to a certain degree. There could be karma surrounding contentment specifically, or let's say karma surrounding the possessions of a person. I feel like heavy emphasis on the toilet. Person being on a toilet or something to that nature, or stomach hurting, or it was very specific message, Virgo, cramping to a certain degree. So this could speak of Scorpio's energy as well. If someone's saying another person is nasty, they truly are. I feel like this is through the intellect, the practicality, the time spent specifically. What is the Nine of Cups? All things Virgo, Nine of Cups, Empress card, Six of Swords. So this has something to do with Virgo. See the Emperor, he's like, you know, real laid back with it as far as the movement goes, right? He's like real chill. He's real conservative. You know, he's not giving up much information to a certain degree, right? Or this has something to do with the movement of person particularly. So the controlled standpoint in Aries, we can pinpoint it exactly. Virgo. Let's see. The Emperor card, Venus, Aries at a 1434 revelation of contents, possessions, Capricorn's energy. The third party energy, those that are pressed, and more of that, more of those contents, more of that energy as far as those that are okay, Virgo, this is like an energy as to where someone's watching you or helping you look for something and they have exactly what they stole. It's like they're helping you, you know, as far as the investigation goes, or helping you look for your fucking money that's missing out of your purse to a certain degree. And it's like they have it the whole time at a 34. There was something about the Capricorn's energy. Like these are people who like will be sitting next to another and will be telling a whole fucking lie the whole time. But it's like you're sitting next to a person who's trying to tell the truth, but it's like this person know the truth the whole time type of energy, Virgo. So heavy emphasis on the controlled standpoint in the attraction. So attracting the spirit more so, or let's say the possessions. I don't want to say someone's contracting or someone's going to contract something or someone's going to realize that they're in possession of, or that they have a certain, let's say, gene specifically. I'm not going to say that. But what I'm going to say is there's controls surrounding the movement of a person, how you move. So if particularly, you know, you think you have motion, but you're doing all of the wrong things when it comes to the motion, you know, you're not doing right by people specifically, you really don't have motion. So whatever's in your mind, Aries, the Emperor card, as far as the head portion, the attraction, revelation of contents, possession, self-atonement, third-party energy, outlets specifically, those that are pressed, or using those outlets specifically when it comes to the possession of whatever's in the possession of person specifically, or in a person's head, you know, how they choose to go about their day, or what are they thinking about specifically when it comes to, let's say, the question at hand more so, or let's say, Virgo, how someone chooses to go about their day specifically. Okay, Virgo, so I'm also getting an energy as to where it's embedded. Can't make this up. Possessions, a possession would be embedded, right? If someone's stealing from you, it would be embedded, you know, as far as if they have what you're looking for, it's embedded in their fucking mind. So as far as the engraving goes, Virgo, it's in Aries as well. Wicked identification when it comes to the third party energy, the outlets, the properties, the practicality. Ah, my goodness, Virgo. This could speak of conspiracies of, or engraved. Okay, so this could speak of writing to a certain degree, wicked identification or judgment surrounding groups, those that are pressed. Or I feel like some type of third-party outlet specifically that has the property or contents of, or head portion. I feel like this is like an energy as to where, oh, they have the information that you're looking for. They have what you're looking for to a certain degree. Chiron at a 25-9, seeing eye to eye with the politics, the conflict, the hate, carefree energy, or needing to cool down when it comes to the trauma that a person has, or windows specifically. So that leap of faith has caused trauma, and seeing eye to eye with those politics more so, or the disgrace surrounding that leap of faith, or the screening of, you know what I'm saying, Virgo? Okay, so let's see. All things Virgo. Okay, so you have the Six of Wands, Virgo. So this has something to do with let's say victory or longevity. So allowing something to go on for a long time. Heavy emphasis on Virgo longevity. God who took evil. So protecting against infirmities. So impurities more so Virgo. Protecting from the impure, or those who are not as pure when it comes to those possessions or what they have inside of them specifically. I feel like it wouldn't be okay to share with a person as far as, you know what I'm saying, because of the contents or their inability to, let's say, self-atone. So obviously you have inability to shut your fucking mouth. Obviously you have inability to present your own possessions, be authentic as possible. Windows, seeing eye to eye with the trauma as far as the authenticity goes, Virgo. The activation of the pleasures more so, or let's say the material. Is that real? Is that authentic? Is that something that's suitable or not? There could be disgrace or conflict surrounding the possessions or contents specifically, or person having discipline more so. Let's see. Too many cards. Queen of Swords, Virgo. So this could speak of implementing on the shit that's so much. Like a person has so much with them, or as far as implementing to a certain degree the head portion, how a person's thinking, what they're thinking. It's an energy, Virgo, as to where someone could be like, I feel more so, this is doctor, to a certain degree as to, well, how are you feeling type of energy as far as it goes. Like a person who's very level-headed, who's very clear-minded. Six of Swords, Emperor card, Queen of Swords. Let's see. So this could be you implementing this energy, Virgo, across nations or groups or categories more so. I feel like good job, Virgo. The possessions or contents for Capricorn energy, or the exchanging of. I feel like this is more so, Virgo, contractual, or as far as the planetary bodies or transits go, right? So this could be information that you're learning, or I feel like you know this information, but I feel more so as you go type of energy. You know what has happened as far as your own experience, but there could be implementing further as far as the restrictions or the strict energy surrounding a person and their possessions or inability to self-discipline more so. Like I said, Virgo, I see something about a person stealing from another, and then it's like they know what they stole. They know exactly what they've done or what they've manifested more so. Knight of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn's energy. I feel like this is this person's heart to a certain degree, right? Could you imagine a person being so close to another person, or being their heart, and then what they could turn around and do as far as the envy, the disgrace, how they could disgrace a person publicly, or as far as information or leads go? Could you imagine how that could turn sour quickly more so? How nasty that shit could get with a person more so. So heavy emphasis on, Virgo, praiseworthy energy or prayers when it comes to a person in their situation, as far as being very clear-minded on their situation, or having the understanding of their situation or why they're so pressed, right? Let's see. Or let's even say, Virgo, why they're using third-party outlets specifically. So Virgo, you have the Seven of Cups, a multitude, heavy emphasis on those scorpionic energies, or watching specifically. They've watched this. I feel like there are people who have leads on this information to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? I feel like someone's trying to keep something secret. No, they have leads on what's honestly and truly going on as far as the praise, the motive, etc., right? So being truthful in current energies, or being very clear-minded, Virgo, as I stated. Let's see. Eight of Pentacles, Four of Wands. So practicality, the intellect more so, the properties. containment or confinement of the property, specifically rectification, intellect, practicality, ass work. Wobble dee wobble dee wobble So ass work when it comes to a person. Could you imagine how nasty that shit gets? Let's see, all things Virgo. So making a gesture towards, let's say, the truth. The truth could be hurting or damaging. I feel like someone's going to get or hear some very heartbreaking or damaging news. Specifically, Virgo. This is the desire to know, or the delay, or the activation of the pleasures because of pleasures. Specifically, I feel more so how a person chooses to pleasure themselves ultimately. You could be dealing with delays to a certain degree as well, Virgo. That's what I'm seeing here. So karma, wicked identification, judgment. So this has something to do with Virgo, disruption of a person or demon that's on crack. You can tell when a person is on crack, right? Someone's on a drug or crack, or there's a crack to a certain degree as far as a person and their possessions go. Something hurts to a certain degree as well. I don't know, Virgo. So making investments more so, or discerning when it comes to hate. Leo's energy, truth and justice. So this is why they're upset, Virgo, because of the communication or news that they're getting. The news that they're going to get is going to damage, or has damaged, the art specifically, or let's say how a person pleasures themselves. I feel like something's not worth it to a certain degree. I feel like you could do something quadruple times, or a multitude, or multiple times, as far as you dealing with the delay, or you dealing with a disease, Virgo, or you dealing with a dick. I don't know. I feel like as far as the delay or desire to go to the desire to know, or how a person pleasures themselves specifically, I feel like a desire to leave something alone, a desire to go or die, or a desire to, let's say, activate a pleasure specifically, but something's just not, it's not the same, right? Type of energy. Those foods, those pleasures, when it comes to persons specifically, those outings specifically, those sightings specifically, it's just not the same. How they choose to go about their day tells a lot. I feel like this has something to do with a person and their focal point, or the influence at the exact. This is what I'm getting. Let's get you an oracle. So the exact has, Virgo, influenced the person. Exactly. So I feel like this is what you wanted. This is the energy as far as the exposure of, let's say, the destruction, the exposure of that cold-like energy. So you're being cold as fuck. Did I mention something like this, Virgo, in the beginning of the reading? You're being cold as fuck, or you're being ignorant, or you're, as far as X, Y, and Z, the relationship, right? The commitment, the marriage. So this is what's being activated on you as far as the exact health, influence, drug use, an influencer specifically. This could be someone gaining traction, or let's say a star born because of the exact. That's exactly what we're talking about as far as the engraving goes, right? Wicked identification, those that oppress, third-party energy, the intellect, the practicality. Move your hips, okay? Someone's honestly, or actually, they're okay with the information or what's been presented more so, right? So, what's his name, Virgo? Boss Man D-Lo, right? Why is your name D-Lo? Boss Man D-Lo? Okay. So as far as it goes, you've been influenced by the exact, or this is exactly what we're talking about as far as this person or situation or X, Y, and Z goes. So you're evil ass bitch. You're delayed when it comes to your pleasure. So you're taking this out on leisure, random, etc. Right?